Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. That is building resilience in our food systems to achieve sustainable food systems. Thanks for joining us. Please note that this event is being recorded. By participating, you show your willingness to be recorded. We invite you to use the Q&A function to put the questions or comments forward, and I'll also get in direct contact with you. So please use the Q&A button, not the chat button. You also have the option to use the raise hand button. You're all muted, and we will activate your microphone if you're putting in a question. We have measures in place to help maintain the integrity of this call. Should there be any disturbance, please bear with us and we'll restore order shortly. To kick off the webinar, we have Dr. Philip Ojo, the Director General for the National Agricultural Seed Council, NASC. He'll be giving the welcome address. Thanks again. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Now, we have Dr. Philip Ojo, the Director General, National Agricultural Seed Council, NASC. He'll be giving you the welcome address.
Yeah, Yewande, am I on?
Yes, you're on, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Alhaji Sabo Nanunu, the distinguished panelists, the Ambassador of Netherlands, Kingdom of Netherlands, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to welcome you all to the first digital edition of SeedConnect Africa Conference and Expo. This is the third in the series, and we're happy SeedConnect is fast gaining global attention and has become one of the biggest gatherings of seed industry stakeholders in Africa. Recall the event was earlier scheduled to hold on the 20th and 21st April 2020. However, this was suspended following various government measures and advisories aimed at advancing social distancing to prevent the spread and escalation of the ravaging corona pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of SeedConnect Africa cannot be overemphasized as it brings together stakeholders in the seed industry from all parts of the world to discuss and deliberate on issues and topics of mutual benefit to the seed system. Over the years, the Nigerian seed system has benefited immensely from this laudable initiative. Your articulate and robust ideas have helped in shaping the Nigerian seed industry. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to report on the progress we have made on some of the bright ideas and decisions we have made from the previous editions of SeedConnect Africa. For the sake of time, I would like to mention just a few of these achievements and activities. The first one is the drive for the introduction of plant variety protection law in Nigeria. We have made huge and significant progress in this regard through the support of AGRA, BMGF, and Rockefeller Foundation, UKAID, and a host of other partners under the Partnership for Inclusive Agricultural Transformation in Africa, PIATA. The NASC has started this process and has developed the framework for the introduction of PVP in Nigeria. The draft law has been submitted to the National Assembly, where it has passed both the first and second reading. I wish to also mention that Nigeria has been granted an observer status in the Council, the administrative, legal, and technical committees of the UPOF. The second one is the introduction of a Tanki electronic authentication system tagged SeedConnect. It enables farmers and stakeholders to instantly verify the authenticity and genuineness of every container, packs, and bags before use by simply scratching the silver panel and testing the HINDI number to I1393. The sender will receive an instant message confirming the genuineness of the seed pack. With this, farmers are sure of choosing the right seed, which has passed through the quality assurance processes of the NASC. The third one is diagnosis certification and setup of molecular facility, and this is actually in line with global best practices. The Council has upgraded the certification process by commencing diagnosis certification. This is to ensure free planting materials, viral-free planting materials for vegetatively propagated materials. The fifth one is actually third-party certification. This subject was a topical issue in the previous edition of SeedConnect. I'm happy to announce today that the NASC has commenced third-party certification program for the Nigerian seed industry. We are currently piloting this scheme using cassava seed certification system in Kogi, in Benue, in Abia, and we are actually extending it to Oyo State. A key topic in our past discussion is the need for strategic planning, and I'm happy to report today we unveil our new multi-year national seed roadmap. The seed roadmap is an output of collaboration with the DOT partners, which is a strategic policy document that will guide stakeholders in the seed sector to work towards an increase in farmers' access to and use of quality seeds of improved varieties. We thank you all for your continued support in sustaining the Seed Codex as a forum that gives birth to a very bright ideas and call for action. The Nigerian seed industry is grateful to our sponsors, partners, and panelists, and all stakeholders who have contributed immensely toward the success of today's event. I particularly want to thank immensely the Dutch mission in Nigeria and the management of Premier Seed Nigeria Limited for providing both technical and financial assistance. This event couldn't have come at a better time than now. At a time, the world is actually facing great uncertainties. The coronavirus pandemic is fueling a lot of anxiety about negative economic growth, failing health care systems, destruction of supply chain and markets, collapsing seed systems, and worsening food security situations all over the world. This situation has complicated access to quality seeds and other inputs, such as fertilizer, agro inputs, thereby disrupting the food security situation in many countries and economies. Ladies and gentlemen, the NASC recognizes this fact and is working very hard in collaboration with various partners to ensure we create a sustainable and robust seed system in Nigeria and beyond, capable of withstanding shocks such as those brought in by the corona pandemic. I thank all our panelists and various participants for taking time out to be with us, offering your expertise and knowledge towards attaining the Sustainable Development Goal number 2, while I look forward to fruitful deliberations. I urge all the participants and panelists to continue to bombard us with these very bright ideas to make our seed system better. On this note, I want to thank you all. I want to say God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ojo.
Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you for that remarkable welcome. Thank you very much. Please, if you're not speaking, mute yourself. We'd appreciate it. Our next speaker is our special guest of honor. He'll be giving a special remark today. His Excellency, Ambassador Harry van Dijk, Ambassador to Nigeria, Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Seed Entrepreneur Association of Nigeria and Seed Companies, Farmers Association of Nigeria, researchers and members of the Agricultural Research Council, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start with a big thank you to the National Agricultural Seed Council for organizing this annual event and this opportunity to address the SeedConnect virtual conference. During the visit of the Dutch Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, now almost a year ago, the Netherlands and Nigeria reiterated their wish to intensify cooperation in the realm of food and agriculture. The agricultural sector offers many opportunities for Nigerian policy objectives such as domestic food production, diversification of the economy, and youth employment. The Netherlands is a major exporter of agricultural produce, and more specifically in this case, the Netherlands is a major exporter of horticulture seed. Just to give you an idea, 40% of global horticulture seed trade originates from the Netherlands. And the Netherlands is home to over 300 specialized companies working in over 100 countries worldwide. 60% of EU applications for innovation and applications for plant breeders' rights originate from the Netherlands. So there's a vast wealth of experience in the Netherlands in the realm of seed production. The Netherlands has reached that level of excellence due to cooperation between the private sector, academic institutions, and the government. This is the main ingredient for the Dutch success story in seed, in food, and in agriculture. And the bilateral Nigerian-Dutch cooperation can largely benefit from this development and from the knowledge the seed sector in the Netherlands has developed in this realm. These models can be applied also here for Nigeria's policy objectives. And in this framework, the bilateral cooperation between the Netherlands and Nigeria funds a collaborative seed development program under the Nigerian-Netherlands Seed Partnership. This program is implemented by a consortium led by Wageningen University. I already saw a few of the participants from Wageningen University in this panel. And this program will run for the next 4 years. Other programs in the realm of horticulture and seed are in preparation. But this bilateral cooperation can only be useful and effective if it is embedded in a strong local network. So I'm very happy to see this SeedConnect conference with all the partners you have brought around in the seed sector. I mentioned in particular the National Agricultural Seed Council, who organizes this event and who is the basis or a crucial actor at least for this network for the development of the seed sector in Nigeria. So with these few words, I am convinced that this SeedConnect conference will provide a very valuable contribution to the development of a vibrant Nigerian seed sector. I wish you all the success for this conference, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. To officially open the webinar, we have a speech from the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Nigeria, Alhaji Mohammed Sabo Nanono. He'll be represented by someone from the office. Do we have the minister's representative, please? Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and go into our first session today. Our first session will be a presentation on the Unveiling Nigeria's new multi-year seed roadmap and the way forward. The roadmap was worked on by Wageningen University in the Netherlands in partnership with the Seed Council, NASC, Sahel Consulting, and other partners. Today, we have 3 experts from these parties to discuss this roadmap. Our first speaker will be a presentation by Dr. Maya Tyson. She's a senior advisor, plant genetic resources and seed system at Wageningen University Research Centre for Development and Innovation. She has over 20 years experience working in the seed sector. She manages a portfolio of multi-annual national seed projects in Africa and Asia, as well as Africa-wide community of practice on seed sector development. Dr. Tyson, are you with us this morning?
Thank you very much, Wandy. Will you share my presentation, or do you want me to share the screen myself?
You can share the screen yourself, that's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for giving me the floor. I'm really honored that I will be given the opportunity to present the new multi-annual seed roadmap for Nigeria and discuss the way forward in this panel. As His Excellency, Mr. Harry van Dijk already mentioned, the governments of Nigeria and the Netherlands have agreed to collaborate in the field of food and agriculture. And in March 2019, a group of Dutch representatives of the government, the seed industry, but also NGOs and knowledge institutes visited Nigeria to explore how potential collaboration in the seed sector may look like. At the end of the visit, it was agreed that one of the first steps in the collaboration would be a seed sector assessment. And based on this assessment, the development of a national seed roadmap for Nigeria. This to provide guidance on areas for collaboration in seed sector development. The assignment was a collaboration between Nigerian and Dutch stakeholders, including the National Agricultural Seed Council, SEEDCONNECT, Sahel Consulting, East-West Seeds, and Wageningen University Research. But in the end, more than 50 organizations and more than 120 Nigerian and international experts have been involved in the seed sector review and the development of the seed roadmap. The purpose of the National Seed Roadmap was not only to guide Dutch stakeholders in their collaboration with their Nigerian counterparts, but really to provide strategic direction to all stakeholders engaged in the development of the Nigerian seed sector. The document is shaped around 3 questions. And the first one is, where are we now? What is the current status of the sector? The second one is, where do we want to go? What are our ambitions for the seed sector? And the third one, how will we get there? What do we need to do to achieve our ambitions? In relation to where are we now, one of the key challenges in agriculture in Nigeria is the challenge of low crop productivity. And for a big part, this is due to the limited use of quality seed of new and improved varieties. For most crops, the sector can only provide 5 to 10% of the need of quality seed, except for OPV maize, for which the market seems to be quite saturated. But increasing the availability and farmers' access and use of quality seed is really complex. Seeds need to be available at the right time, at the right place, in the right quantity, of the right quality, at an affordable price, and of the appropriate variety. And all these things need to be right at the same time. The sector faces many challenges in achieving this, since we talk about multiple crops, about multiple seed systems, and about multiple sector functions. In the review, through focus group discussions, expert interviews, and desk study, we identified many general and crop-specific challenges. Looking at, so where do we want to go? If we look at the vision for the seed sector, we agreed with seed sector stakeholders that they would like to see a Nigerian seed sector that is more competitive, is resilient, profitable, innovative and adaptive, sustainable, inclusive, resistant, and transparent. So this was agreed upon with Nigerian stakeholders. And this was to be achieved to increase performance in 6 sector functions. The first one is the first block is service provision, services to seed producers and seed value chain actors. The second one is seed production systems, sustainably producing seed for all crops. The third one is market development as a pulling factor for quality seeds. Then we have revenue generation and reinvestment, with the sector having the ability to generate resources, coordination and governance, resulting in alignment and accountability of stakeholders, and regulation and management, with an appropriate seed regulatory framework in place. So we identified challenges in all these seed sector functions. These challenges were transformed into ambitions. And in a multi-stakeholder workshop in October last year, ambitions were prioritized. And we ended up with 22 priority topics. And these were all elaborated in the SEED roadmap. So you see the 22 priority topics in this slide. For example, on the service provision, quality assurance and variety development are addressed. On the production systems, early generation seed supply, but also infrastructural capacity for seed production were prioritized. And market development included tackling of counterfeit seed, for example. For revenue generation and reinvestment, also financial services and products are addressed. Whereas for coordination and government, the topic of a strong seed association was included. Regulation and management included a well-functioning PVP system that was mentioned by Dr. Arjo already this morning. All these 22 topics are elaborated in the SEED roadmap through strategic innovation pathways. And for each topic, the SEED roadmap provides the ambition, what do we want to achieve, what is the ideal status, a description of the challenge, the steps towards achieving the ambition, the stakeholders that need to be involved working on this topic, a catalyst organization that may be able to pull the change process, policy references, agricultural policies, seed-related policies that we need to take into consideration, a horizon for either 2 or 5 or 5 or 10 years, depending on the topic, as well as illustrative examples of successful strategies that are applied already in Nigeria or from other countries. So in the end, we would like the SEED roadmap not only to support the government in design of agricultural policies, but actually guide all stakeholders in the efforts to strengthen the performance of the seed sector of Nigeria. And we hope it may be used to promote collaboration between stakeholders and support the development of a sector in a coordinated, aligned, and structured fashion. The Nigeria Seed Roadmap has supported the Dutch stakeholders and Nigerian partners to develop the collaborative seed projects. In this project, we will work on 8 topics of the National Seed Roadmap, and we will use the strategic innovation pathways of the Seed Roadmap to guide us on what to do and with whom to work. The project has just been approved by the Dutch government, and we are grateful for that. And I'm looking forward to engage with all of you through the Nigeria-Netherlands Seed Partnership in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that introduction into the seed roadmap. Thank you. Our second speaker is Falaq Tidjani. She's a manager at Sahel Consulting. Sahel Consulting was part of this project. She has over 5 years experience working in management consulting, focusing on developing the agricultural sector in West African countries. She's worked in Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Niger, and now Nigeria. Welcome, Falaq. Falaq, are you with us this morning?
Yes, I am. Good morning. Thank you, Yewande. And thank you so much for the presentation. I will just take it up from the presentation that brilliant presentation that Maya has just given. In her presentation, she laid out why the seed roadmap was really needed for the development of the Nigerian seed sector. And as an entry point, she also mentioned the Nigerian-Netherlands seed program that was developed and recently approved by the Dutch government. This is really meant to be a collaborative program between both countries that takes systemic approaches to sustainably address key challenges in the seed sector. The program proposes several interventions in which Nigerian and Dutch stakeholders collaborate to enhance the Nigerian seed sector performance. They contribute to the implementation of selected strategic innovation pathways, as mentioned by Maya. And for this program, we're focusing on 8. Just to mention some of the 8 programs that we are focusing on, we'll look at the seed sector governance and coordination, donor alignment, institutional markets, decentralized quality assurance, extension and seed cultivation practices, seed marketing and promotion, and variety protection, and variety releases. It shows that we are really looking at a broad spectrum of the seed sector and capitalizing the work that is currently being done. This is a collaborative effort between the government, industries, knowledge, regulatory, and civil society farm organization within Nigeria and the Netherlands. We're really going over the next, if this is going to be a sustainable project that is going to look at finding solutions to address the bottlenecks in the seed sector. So this project is going to be implemented by several partners, naturally led by the Seed Council, the SEEDAN, Seed Entrepreneurs Association of Nigeria. We have the Research Institute, and we have also the Dutch partners. Some of them are the Wageningen University Research, through the Wageningen Centre for Development Innovation. We have the Wageningen Plant Research, NANTAM, NACTUMBAU, and Oxfam, and in partnership with Sahel in Nigeria as well. The program really other stakeholders, activities, sectors, CSOs, development organizations, government, and other associations that are already really doing great work in pushing forth the Nigerian seed sector and improving output for the farmers. Thank you.
Falaq, for that brilliant presentation. Thank you. Our third speaker to wrap up this session is Mr. Folarin Okelola. He's a technical advisor to the Director General at the National Agricultural Seed Council, NASC. He has an agricultural seed science and development expert he's an agricultural seed science and development expert with over 16 years experience in the seed industry, coordination and management experience across several countries. His focus has been on improving crop productivity through seed technologies, seed industry development, private sector engagement in seed business, and promotion of the introduction of the plant variety protection, PVP, in the country. Mr. Okelola, are you with us this morning?
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and good morning to His Excellency, the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands, and all other participants and panelists. From the Seed Council end, Maya has spoken, Falaq has spoken, and we can see that for us today is a very happy day because we are unveiling a strategic policy document that will impact very, very significantly on the seed system in Nigeria to the entire seed industry. A lot has been said already, how we came by this document, where the seed industry is. I don't need to bore this too much. Most importantly, that what is of interest to us is where we want to go. And one of the ways of getting to where we want to go is implementing the National Seed Roadmap. And that is what we'll be doing with the collaborative seed projects that Maya has spoken about. The beautiful thing about the strategic document is it's a planning tool for us. There's that saying that if you don't plan, you are planning to fail. And we are happy in the seed industry that now we have a document that can guide investors into, coordinatedly approaching, challenges of the industry. A lot of resources have gone into the seed industry over the years, and we could not track and trace the impact of all these, interventions. But with this document, it will serve as a guide for a host of actors, donor, interest bodies, stakeholders, private sector, to key into, the identified challenges, 22 that have been, clearly documented in this strategic document, and, pick point of entrance of intervention into the seed industry. So this is a very, very laudable one for us. And in the council, under the leadership of the Director General, we are proud to be associated with this document, and we are going to run with it, and we ensure that in the next few years, we can begin to trace successes, evaluate what we have done and what we have not done well, and be able to, move the seed industry forward. you agree with me that we need to eliminate hunger. And if we eliminate hunger, we must eliminate it in a, very, very pragmatic way. And that is what we are going to do, using the strategic document. So for us from the council, I think I will just compliment what all the speakers have said and call on other well-meaning, interesting interest in the industry to peruse the strategic document, look through it and see where you can come on board to assist us, get these ambitions to become a reality. We have the pathway drawn clearly from where we are today. We have documented the challenges and we have also presented where we want to go. We will encourage everybody to read through this document. Almost everybody on this webinar today is a key stakeholder, and you would see yourself somewhere where you fit in the implementation of the strategic document. So look through it and join us, like the DG said, to drive this implementation and deliver a seed industry for Nigeria that is, able to generate foreign exchange, that is, able to make access to good quality seeds at the right time, at affordable prices, get to our farmers, that is able to change the dynamics, the story in the seed industry, increasing our yield tremendously from what we currently have to what we ought to be. And with this, will be a major player in the seed space, in the global seed industry. So this is just what I want to add. I would close by saying thank you to the Dutch partners, particularly the team from Wageningen University, Sahel in Nigeria, the Sudan, everybody that have played one role in, getting to the development of the strategic plan. And for me, it's a most happy day that we have unveiled the plan. And don't let it end there. Please let everybody own it. And for us in the council, challenge us at all times to come back to ensure that we implement the document in the right way. Thank you.
Mr. Okelola, thank you for that speech. And thanks for presenting. I would like to say thank you to Dr. Tyson, Ms. Falaq Tidjani, and Mr. Okelola for presenting this roadmap. To go ahead, we have the Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Agriculture representing the Minister. Are you with me this morning? Permanent Secretary with me this morning? Go ahead. I'll go ahead. For the next session, we have a brief video, an introductory video for a short clip that talks about access to seeds, where the DG is talking about the access to quality seed in Nigeria. So we'll play that for about a couple of minutes.
National Agricultural Seeds Council, NASC, is the apex regulatory body for the Nigerian seed industry. NASC is at the center of Nigeria's seed sector as the principal institution for the coordination and implementation of the national seed policy.
As a seed scientist and an expert in quality control, my experience this year indicates that the yield of varieties that are available are very low, and farmers' productivity as a result is actually low. And there is a need to ensure that better genetics and varieties are available in order to prop up farmers' productivity and income. Plant variety protection is a system whereby varieties are protected, breeders actually encouraged and remunerated, and it's actually a situation whereby intellectual properties, actually the rights are given to plant breeders, and it's actually a win-win situation for breeders, for farmers, for all the other stakeholders, and even the country in general, the consumers and everybody. to the country, it means increase in food production, because seed is the beginning of agriculture. You should have very good quality seeds, seeds that will yield 10, 15 tons, 7, 8, 9, 10 tons, instead of what we have today. If we have seed security, we are going to have food security. So we're going to have more food being produced, and productivity is going to increase. And at the end of the day, when there's food security in the country, you know exactly what it means. A lot of good quality food for everybody, and peace in the country, because like my people used to say, Ishe is poverty, when hunger is eradicated, because hunger is part of poverty. But even if you are poor and you have enough to eat, poverty is actually out of the way. PVP law is actually very important. It's going to enable us to actually participate better in the general market, and we'll be able to be a net exporter of food. And that's exactly what happens in other places, not only food, other agricultural products, raw materials. So we'll be net exporter of some of this, and we'll be able to compete with some of other African countries like Kenya and Zimbabwe and South Africa. So it's actually a very, very good thing that we must have. And that was why we started since 2017 in order to prosecute this. Because when you look at our farmers and you discover that their yields are very low and they're doing so much and they are getting little. So we had to really put our head and everything that we have in it in order that we have this PVP system established in Nigeria. It's very, very important for us to protect the crops and all the things that we have in this country. There's a crop called teff in Ethiopia. And before the Ethiopians could wake up, somebody from Britain or somewhere came and actually took it away and patented it. By the time Ethiopians are aware or they wanted to actually patent it, it became impossible because somebody was faster than them. The breeders and other stakeholders have a way of benefiting immensely from the PVP system. Let me start with the breeders. The breeders have opportunity to earn money from their investment. They will be given intellectual property rights over their varieties. And that means a lot of money for them. And investment is going to be increased in breeding. Also, they will be able to do a lot. And a lot of more other breeders who are actually not doing anything will come into the breeding industry because it's going to be a very, very profitable venture. And very good varieties and genetics will be made available by breeders. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. I actually want to thank all our partners and collaborators that are assisting us to prosecute the PVP system, particularly the Piata group. They have done a lot to assist us to get to where we are, because we started since 2017, and we have done a lot in terms of advocacy, in terms of expert review of the PVP draft law we got from UPOF, a lot of advocacy, capacity building, and the rest of them. Also, we have, during the period, met with some of our local partners, like the SEDAN and the NASG. Today, the draft PVP bill is in the National Assembly, particularly in the House of Representatives. It has passed through the second reading, and we are hopeful that very soon, everything will be done, will be over, and the final thing is going to be the assent to the law by Mr. President. The National Agricultural Council will need a lot of support from government, from interested stakeholders, farmers organizations, the SEDAN, and all the stakeholders in the seed industry to assist us to prosecute this law, because the council alone cannot do it. And because we can't do it alone, a lot is actually needed for advocacy, for sensitization, and for so many things to ensure that the PVP law passes all the necessary hurdles in the National assembly. I want to thank all the partners who have accompanied us in this journey so far, but the journey is still long. I want to most importantly thank the Honorable Minister that has supported us and he continues to support us. We want to thank government and all the other stakeholders who have assisted us. But like I mentioned, the journey is very long. So we are calling on all agencies, development partners, government, the Ministry of Agriculture, even the Seed Association of Nigeria, the NASC, and all other stakeholders, because this is not about the Seed Council. It is about the future of Nigeria. It's about the future of even the next generation. It's about the future of West Africa, because like I usually mention, we produce between 60 and 70% of the food being used in West Africa. And seed is the beginning of agriculture. Without seed, you are nowhere in agriculture. So I think on a final note, I want to implore everybody to join hands with the council. Let us join hands together to ensure the smooth passage of the PVP law, because it is for you, it is for me, it's for all Nigerians. Thank you very much.